Have you ever wondered how the Vatican manages its vast resources in a way that truly serves the mission of the Church? Pope Leo XIV has launched one of the most significant financial reforms in recent history, aiming to strengthen transparency and responsible stewardship at the heart of the Holy See. These reforms are not just about numbers, they are about protecting the sacred trust placed in the Church's leadership and ensuring that every penny supports the gospel and the faithful worldwide. Today we begin an eye-opening journey into the financial transformation taking place under Pope Leo XIV. His bold initiatives aim to renew confidence and integrity in Vatican finances, so the Church can continue its vital work of charity, evangelization, and service with clarity and holiness. Why does this matter to you? Because the way the Church manages its resources impacts everything, from supporting the poorest, to maintaining the holy places, to nurturing the spiritual life of Catholics everywhere. These reforms reflect a commitment to uphold the highest standards of responsibility and holiness, honoring the sacred mission entrusted to the Church. Stay with me as we explore the top 5 key reforms Pope Leo XIV is championing to ensure that Vatican finances truly serve God's work and the faithful. These changes mark a new chapter in the Church's ongoing call to faithful stewardship and transparency. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss the important revelations ahead. Insights that every Catholic should know to deepen their understanding and trust in the Church. Let's begin. When Pope Leo XIV took office, the Vatican's finances were shrouded in secrecy and scandal. Many Catholics had no idea where the money went. Millions, even billions of dollars moving through shadowy accounts and investments that contradicted the Church's teachings. Leo XIV realized that without true transparency and reform, the Church's spiritual mission was at risk. His reforms focus on 5 key pillars that have shaken the very foundation of Vatican financial management, and each one has profound spiritual and practical implications. First, full transparency and public accountability. Before Leo XIV, Vatican financial statements were rarely audited by outsiders, leaving room for corruption and misuse. Now, independent international auditors review every Vatican department's books annually, publishing detailed reports for the faithful to see. This unprecedented openness reminds us all that stewardship is a sacred responsibility, not just to the Church, but to God. Second, ethical investment reform. The Vatican historically invested in companies and ventures that sometimes clashed with Catholic moral teaching, from tobacco to arms manufacturers. Leo XIV ordered a complete review, divesting from all unethical holdings and redirecting investments to socially responsible enterprises. Funds now back projects that uphold human dignity, support families, protect the environment, and aid persecuted Christians worldwide. This reform signals a Church committed to living out its teachings not only in words, but through concrete financial choices. Third, restructuring and optimizing Vatican assets. The Church owns vast properties, many of which were underutilized or excessively expensive to maintain. Leo XIV initiated an audit of all Vatican real estate and decided to sell or repurpose luxury estates and unused buildings, funneling the proceeds to missions, education, and charitable works. This reflects the Gospel's call to simplicity and prioritizing the needy over material wealth. Fourth, enforcing strict financial accountability at every level. It's not just about policies, it's about people. Church leaders worldwide now must personally certify their financial reports, facing penalties or removal for mismanagement or corruption. Leo XIV established a Vatican Financial Oversight Tribunal to investigate abuses swiftly and transparently, ensuring no one is above the law. This has led to several high-profile removals, sending a clear message: integrity is non-negotiable. Fifth, creating dedicated funds for humanitarian aid and evangelization. One of Leo XIII's most beloved reforms was establishing a mission fund strictly for humanitarian outreach, feeding the hungry, rebuilding war-torn communities, and supporting persecuted Catholics. This fund is regularly audited, with every dollar traceable and publicly reported. It's a tangible way for Catholics worldwide to see their donations at work, bringing the gospel to life in action. But these reforms didn't come without resistance. Some in the Curia and Vatican bureaucracy saw Leo XIV's as threats to their power or income. Yet, he pressed on, often invoking Christ's words, "You cannot serve both God and money." The Pope's bold stance has sparked debates and even scandals as hidden financial abuses were uncovered, but also hope among many faithful who long for a church free from corruption. For the average Catholic, what do these reforms mean? They are an invitation, a call to deepen faith and trust, knowing the Church is striving to live its gospel witness authentically. It's also a challenge. If the Vatican must reform finances so radically, what about each of us? How do we manage the resources God has given us? Are we as transparent and accountable in our giving, spending, and stewardship? These reforms are not just about money. They're about holiness, truth, and the Church's mission to be a light to the world. Pope Leo XIV's financial revolution is an urgent wake-up call for Catholics everywhere. Faith without works, including responsible stewardship, is incomplete. What Pope Leo XIV is doing goes beyond financial reform. It's a profound spiritual renewal. The shocking truth? It's not that the Vatican lacks money, but that it once lacked truth. Today, it's not just about budgets or audits. It's about a church learning to live in gospel light. When you give $5 at Mass, you can now be more sure that your gift supports seminarians in Uganda, repairs churches destroyed by floods in Brazil, and saves souls in Syrian refugee camps. Jesus once drove out the merchants from the temple because they turned a sacred place into a den of thieves. He didn't need money. He needed justice. Now, thanks to Leo XIV, the Church is relearning that lesson. Line by line, budget by budget. Ask yourself, what are you doing with your money? Don't just give. Pray. Ask God how you're supporting the Church, with your heart or just habit. Demand transparency. Choose to support truly faithful Catholic organizations. And if your faith feels shaken, remember, light always starts with a single candle. If you feel moved today, don't let it fade like a passing feeling. Do something. Pray for church leaders. Ask your parish priest about finances. Most importantly, begin living transparency in both your faith and your finances, starting in your own home. Don't wait for the Vatican to change before you live rightly. Be the first in your community to say, "It's time money in the Church became a light." God doesn't need us to be millionaires. He needs us to be faithful stewards. Are you ready to live the gospel with both your soul and your wallet? If so, hit like to show YouTube that Catholics still care about what's right. Subscribe to not miss these powerful messages. And share this video with a friend. You might be the one to spark their faith anew.